Hi, everyone. Welcome to 30-Year-Old Virgins. My name is Kaveh, and I have a special guest with me today. Her name is Deidra. How are
Hello.
you, Deidra?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Yeah, so, infertility is definitely a topic that's hits close to home for a lot of, I want to say millions of couples around the United States each year. I think 1 in 8 couples struggle with infertility on a yearly basis. So I appreciate you coming on and kind of speaking with us. I know it's tough to do that, so I appreciate you doing that for us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Um, so first of all, congratulations on your pregnancy. That is amazing. I was so happy to hear that
Thank
when
you.
I first saw it on social media. I know it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows, though. So for people that don't know, I've been following you on social media, so I've had the ability to kind of follow you through your journey. But if you don't mind, just to update everyone else, if you can tell them a little bit about your journey leading you up to this point.
Yeah, sure. So from when we first decided that we wanted to have kids and start trying to have kids until the day, we got pregnant, it was about a three-year journey. It was about a year and a half in that we decided to get some tests done because it wasn't happening. So we started getting some tests done through our OBGYN and, figured out that I have some huge problems with, I've fallopian tubes and I've endometriosis and I've just all these problems. And, she was like, you have to go to infertility. That's your only option at this point. And unfortunately, I ended up having both of my fallopian tubes removed. So I have a 0% chance of conceiving naturally.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really disappointing to hear that, to say the least. So then we started infertility, and it's been about a year of infertility treatments, 2 full rounds, and our second one was successful. So I'm 11 weeks pregnant now.
That is amazing. That is amazing. You said you and your husband were going through this for about 3 years. So when you went to the doctor and you finally heard what was wrong with you, how did that make you feel?
Oh, awful. It's awful. At first, like as a woman, you feel very broken because you feel like, wow, this is like my purpose. This is one of my biggest purposes, and why I'm here on earth is to like have children. And when the doctor's like, you can't do that, you feel very broken as a woman, and it's very difficult emotionally on you, and it's hard on my husband too. I mean, he to see, me going through and feeling that way is very hard on him to watch. His wife feel like very destroyed.
Yeah,
It
and
was very hard at first.
yeah. So yeah, as you said, it was hard on Steven, your husband. That can put a lot of strain in relationships. So sometimes, even sometimes ending them, but it seems like you and Steven only grew stronger. You say a lot of high praise for him through social media, and I think that's great. Tell me a little bit about his support system and how it helped you through that time.
Well, I think one of the most important things for couples that are going through infertility is communication. You have to talk to each other. Even if it's like both of you've had a hard day at work and you come home and you just want to enjoy each other's company. If there's something bothering you, you have to talk about it. Otherwise, it just festers inside of you, and then you end up resenting each other. So you really have to talk. And that's what we did. We had the hard conversations, and you have to have them. And it really helped, just our relationship in general. And it helped me understand where he was coming from and helped him understand where I'm coming from. So that was really the most important part of us being so strong, was like always talking to each other. It really helped.
Awesome. And then, this is a very difficult subject to talk about. A lot of people kind of shy away from it. I actually know a lot of people going through that as well. And so you were brave enough to come on camera. Like, what made you want to go on social media and kind of put your journey out there for everyone to see?
I think just to bring more awareness to it, because when I first kind of got introduced into this whole world, because it really is, it's kind of shocking when you start seeing people that are like in your inner circle that are battling it too, and you didn't even know. People don't really talk about it. There's a lot of stigmas, surrounding it. And so for me, it was just like bringing more awareness to infertility, and also just giving people perspective, that having kids is not in your control. It's at all. If you are one of the people that's lucky enough to just have kids when you want to, you're very blessed. And I think, giving people perspective that we're able to do that. And, I had friends say to me, wow, like watching you and Stephen go through this, it made me realize we took getting pregnant and having kids for granted because we could do it so easily. And they're like, it just makes us, realize, and I love that perspective, on both sides, women feeling like they can talk about it and not to feel ashamed about it. And then people on the other side saying, wow, I really did take this for granted. It's a blessing to be able to have kids.
Yeah. So you got the perspective of people that weren't in your shoes. What was the reaction of people that were in your shoes?
That's a lot. I mean, it's very supportive. Everybody that's in that world is, supports each other. And so it's always positive, everybody just kind of, comes together and is there for each other. So it's really nice to have, people to talk to. So it's always been positive.
Seems like you have a pretty good following now too. I saw the comments that come through, it's like, wow. It's like,
yeah, I was pretty surprised. But I think that's just to show how large, this infertility world is. I mean, there's so many people and they come out of the woodwork and you're just like, people in your own community and your inner circles start popping and be like, I didn't know my cousin had to deal with this. And I didn't know, my aunt had to deal with this. And so it's crazy how large this world is.
Yeah. One question before we kind of wrap this up. You were doing the in vitro fertilization. Is that accurate?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You're kind of documenting you injecting shots in yourself. Now, I think you might be a little more brave for actually putting the shots in you than actually speaking about the problem. How did you kind of manage that?
Oh man, you don't have a choice. So it is really scary though when you're holding that needle up to you. I'm telling you. But you don't have a choice. So like it's either just stick this needle in you or you don't have kids. So you kind of weigh it out and then you just take a deep breath and go for it. So the needles were definitely it's a small bump in the road compared to everything else. So
I bet.
Yeah, they're not bad actually at all. The first one, after the first one, you're like, oh, this is a piece of cake.
Yeah, I got this. And how many months did you have to do that before you actually had a successful pregnancy?
That's a great question. Probably it was like a year total for both rounds. It was about a year for both rounds. The stimulating, like the actual shots. My first round was only about a week. It was shorter. My second round was 10 days. We did a lot longer for the stimulation, like the actual injections. It takes time. You have to kind of prime your body to get ready for the injections, and you have to follow the cycle. So everything takes time and you have to be really patient. So it's hard.
Got it. So what advice do you have for couples that are struggling with infertility, and how did you manage to stay positive throughout your struggle?
I know, again, communication with your partner is so important. Staying positive, that is, that's a hard one because you just have to, I think, joining like a community is really great. Finding people that are struggling with the same, infertility issues that you have is so huge. That really, really, really helped me. Finding other women, I actually only found one girl that actually has my specific issue. But even just having a support system, for me, talking about it is such a coping mechanism for me. Just being open and, just being, open and talking to people and getting support. So I would, communicate with your partner and find a support system of some kind that really helps keep your positive mind going.
Awesome. Thanks, Deidra. I hope this inspires a lot of people dealing with this problem to stay positive and keep pushing through, because eventually, the fight is going to be worth it.
Yes.
So I appreciate you joining us live from St. Louis.
Thanks.
Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Definitely. Thanks.
Deidra. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.